Hello, this is Scott White from Glasshouse Home Safety. Welcome to another Safety Saturday. Today's topic is on visitors, sleepovers and fire. You see, we all like to have visitors come around and pop in and stay. We might have relatives coming from interstate, might have kids having a sleepover, or just friends that have come around and had a few too many wines and decided to stay over. Now, when we have these visitors, we normally welcome them and we care for them and we take the time to make their visit very enjoyable, but we often forget about their very distinct disadvantage when it comes to fire and fire safety. We'll often take the time to show them where the toilet is, and here's where the coffee is, here's where the sugar is, but we won't take the time to show them the paths of exit, or to describe to them a muster point, or any sort of procedure about how they might get out in an emergency situation. You see, if you live in a place and you're very familiar with it, then it is a lot easier than a visitor to find your way out in an emergency situation. See, even if you're familiar with the place, you'd be amazed when there's smoke filled in a room and you can't see in front of yourself and you're on the floor crawling along, maybe feeling your way along the walls. At least in your mind you have a picture of, there's where I'm heading to, I'm looking for that door, and when I get there I know where the key is, and I know where that exits to, and then I know where to go to meet everyone else. But if you're a complete stranger and you wake up, the smoke alarms are sounding, quite often you wouldn't even know where you are, let alone where's the way out. And in commercial buildings, they'll have exit signs, they'll have emergency lighting that'll come on. Even in bed and breakfasts or short stay accommodation, Class 1B with the Building Code of Australia, they call for different requirements for smoke alarms. When the smoke alarms go off in those areas, the lights are meant to come on, whether it switches on the lights in that area or whether there's a light built into the smoke alarm. That's a requirement for a particular reason, because they know those people are not familiar with that area, and we want to give them more of an advantage, more of a chance to get out, so they can at least sort of see this is the way to go. You think of the instructions on a plane. They talk about how if there's a fire, you follow the lights along the aisles, So it's the same sort of an idea. There's got to be some way of helping these people in a fire situation, and don't think that it won't happen just because they happen to be visiting. It could well happen on that night, and you need to at least run through some basics. So I would certainly be, when you're showing them the room or the bed, here's where you are now, there's the way out, there's the closest exit from here, the key for that door is hanging here, or you push on depends on the door hardware, and you've got to explain to them how to get out and where they get to when they get out. You've got to have a muster point. You don't want to assemble your family outside and think, oh no, they're still in there, and you run back in there. Meanwhile, they've found another way out and you end up dying in the fire because you've gone back in. You've got to have a muster point. We've talked about that in another video, and I highly recommend at least mentioning that to them. So give them a path. Tell them it only takes a couple of minutes. Here's the way out. Maybe give them a torch. Leave a torch by the bed. That is a good idea as well, because you care for them. You want their visit to be enjoyable. You certainly don't want them to die in any house fire. And the smoke alarm's going off, great, it'll wake them, but that's only half the procedure. How do they get out? And they've got to have something instinctive, some way of, okay, I remember I was just told tonight, or yesterday, this is the way out, and at least they have some sort of a plan in mind. So I hope that helps, because it's often overlooked, and we do care for the visitors, so it's a good thing. They'll probably appreciate that you took the time to mention it to them. It shows you care, as we do here at Glasshouse Home Safety. We genuinely care about our home occupants. We want to We have a vision for keeping every Queensland occupant safe from fire and electrocution. So I hope that helps. Enjoy your Saturday, and I'll speak to you on Toasted Tuesday. Bye-bye.